KLD's running it on a shoestring. Speakman will not want to sack Beale because he doesn't want to lose face because it was his appointment, and Beale just simply hasn't got a clue. I thought it would be best I slept on it before I'd done a video. Listen, I've got this sick, sinking feeling in the pits of my stomach that was reminiscent of the last time we were in the Championship and that we were playing that deplorable football, having to watch that week in, week out. Nearly put my son off. I've got that beginning feeling. And watching the lads, the way they performed last night, I've got nothing against the players, nothing at all, because I know there's a talent there with these players. We've witnessed it. We know under Mowbray he was getting a good tune out of them. We were 1 or 2 players away from a really good team. Now, 7 games under Beale, we've absolutely imploded on the pitch. There was no intensity last night, no urgency. The lads looked like they ran out of ideas. Defending for set pieces and crosses is shocking, by the way. It's what's he teaching them on the training pitch? Because for Ipswich's goal, it was, unforgivable. Letting the smallest man on the pitch roam free and bang that header in. And then last night, the 09 Gans to stop the cross, he doesn't, it comes in. It's a deflective goal, a deflected shot. But still, we're shocking at the minute on the pitch. I didn't blame the players though. I didn't blame them. Like I said, we've seen what Mowbray got out of them, and how much we've imploded is shocking. I am Beale out. He's out of his depth. He hasn't got a clue. But look above him. Speakman will not sack him simply because it was his appointment, and he'll not want to save face because inevitably it could be his job up. It was his appointment. It could be his job. KLD is that skint. He'll not sack Beale because he'll not want to pay the remainder of his contract. This club is a fucking joke at the minute. From everything to the Black Cats bar, the mags. They didn't give a shit about the fans. Rolled out the red carpet. Moved the fans so they could make a few quid on the mags. That's what they've done. They charged them a living fortune. That's exactly what they've done. They didn't give a fuck about the fans. They wouldn't have done that. They would have at least met with the supporters group and spoke about it beforehand. Got a rough understanding of what the supporters were thinking about this situation. They didn't care. They didn't give a shite. Now, KLD is running on a fucking shoestring. And do you know why? Another example. It's clear to see why, but he's an example what I was made aware of last night. The generator, what broke 7 months ago, still hasn't been fixed. They're using a backup generator, and you can't dry your fucking hands in the toilets. How tin pot is that? How embarrassing of a football club are we? Looking at it, the size of the club, the fan base, a Premier League club, and the way these are running it is, it's like League One. Sorry, that's an insult to some League One clubs. I do apologise, I really do. But that's the way we're being run at the minute. I am going to go back, so have a bit of patience with us. The club never wanted to appoint Mowbray in the first place. He was just there to see us over when they sacked Alex Neil. They done absolutely outstanding, and the fans wanted him, so they were made to give an extra contract to Mowbray. Now, the idea was just dying for Mowbray to have a little dip. Mowbray asked for experience, and it's funny how now, we're gone for experience, Kiefer Moore. We're gone for that experience, what Mowbray asked for. Now that's a fucking piss take in itself. How the hell can you say no to Mowbray, an experienced manager who was probably one of the best in the Championship at getting the best out of young players? The players love Mowbray, man. We did. We want Mowbray to stay. There was a few, because of the dip in form, which is understandable. You'll always get that when it happens. But my God, you always have a dip in form throughout the season. You know what I mean, man? It's a fucking joke. Mowbray, in any way, they sacked him after a little bit dip in form. Because if you remember, at the beginning of the season, there were links with that Francisco Ferroli. And that was that's where the cracks started. That's where it all started going tits up. Then they were waiting for Mowbray to have a little dip in form. Bang, they get rid of him. Now, reports just yesterday or the day before, but we all knew anyway, Will Still, they didn't want to pay the compensation to get this man in, and it's been made public now that was the reason why they didn't get him, and they went for the cheap option yet a fucking again, and they signed this most underwhelming manager who's done fuck all in management, and they brought him in. Rangers warned us left, right and centre. They did. On this video, I'll put a few pop-ups now. They warned us. He doesn't have a clue. And if you find out his style of football, let us know, because we didn't have a clue when he was there. Now, that's the same things we are shouting about on his 7 games into his tenureship. This is an absolute joke. I'm sick to death. I'm sick to death. Do you know the model under Man United when they said you cannot win everything with kids? Had Schmeichel, Kanchelskis, it had Mark Hughes, it had Pallister, a blend. It didn't just add everyone under 25. We are using that approach. And surely the powers that be can understand that you don't do that. You cannot do that. They've proved it. Mowbray warned them. Beale has even told them when he plays with some grey hairs. So if Beale's telling them, Mowbray is telling them, what's the difference? Why sack Mowbray, who the fans loved, the players absolutely loved him? Why sack him to bring somebody in with a shit record and is really underwhelming and got sacked on your last job? I know why they brought him in, because he was free, but you shouldn't have got rid of Mowbray. You still shouldn't have got rid of Tony Mowbray. Things need to change. You need to sack Beale now, and you need to start spending some money in this window. There's 11 days to go in this window. Spend some fucking money, KLD, will ya? You made a fortune off the mags. Spend a bit fucking money in this window and get us out of this shite what we're in. Because if you didn't, we're not even going to finish in the top half. But is that what they want? Do they not want to go up? Because at the minute, looking at the players on the pitch, the way they're playing, I didn't think we're ready to start with. I really didn't. But that's not the point. The football's dropping off a cliff. Just how can we go from playing amazing football under Tony Mowbray, get rid of our experience like they have done, they get rid of Danny Bart, player of the season. I've seen a few people say it on social media, that was the right decision. No, it weren't. He was our player of the season. He suited this team. He worked well under our tactics. Why would then you get rid of him? If it's not working for Norwich, then that's tough shite. It's got nothing to do with Danny Bart. Here he was mint. Here he was our player of the season. If he's not suiting their style, that's got nothing to do with Danny Bart. We know what he can do. You didn't do it. And then especially to put a midfielder who's 5 foot out in the defence and say, go on 09, you're going to be our new centre-back. I feel sorry for 09 at times because he's not a centre-back. He really isn't. Last night, he probably had a decent game, to be honest. Probably should have stopped the crossing anyway for their goal. Just at the minute, the methods we're instilling on these players are just not working at all. We want to play it out the back, which is all well and good as long as you've got experience. Midfield, Ekwah is just, he's terrible. He's not ready. I honestly did believe he was, but after his injuries came back, a totally different player. Bellingham needs a rest. It's clear to see. It's clear to see. Rosen, he was making some brilliant runs last night. No one was feeding him. No one was feeding him. Now, you can have any striker in the world, and if you don't feed him, he's not going to score. Now, you can look at that and say, oh, a striker hasn't scored a game, but if you're not going to give him service, no one will score. Beale, I thought was an absolute joke to take Rosen off and bring on a like for like. Instead of going 2 up top and attacking the game, he just went like for like, which was stupidity in any way. I didn't get where the club's gone at the minute. Like, how can we implode so much in a short period of time? It's unbelievable. It actually is unbelievable. I don't know what else to say. I'm just shocked at what we are witnessing on a daily basis now under Beale. The club are refusing to spend any money. You've got Mvia, who's on a free, and apparently there's been stumbling blocks in that transfer now. Is it because we're offering him £100 a week to play? It's absolutely terrible. Beale has said we're not the biggest spenders. We're not going to be the biggest spenders in this window. That's about it for this video. Listen, I hope Beale does turn it round, because inevitably that means us going back up the league. But at the minute, I just can't see it happening.